So it's the early morning, and I'm just going to the greenhouses to do a few things. Today, I want to move small plants that are still big enough to flower, that are caught in between larger plants, shady spots, everything where I feel like if I put them outside now, they will be will have a much better chance at flowering or surviving even. Because the natural environment is just better. You cannot beat it. You have them outside. It's very difficult to recreate everything that happens outside. The rain, all the insect life, it's also about some insects keep the pests away, and there's nutrients everywhere in the ground. Sometimes the roots touch the ground and they continue to grow. Sometimes the roots grow out of the pot and continue to grow. So yeah, we will try to move a few more plants outside. Window closing time. It was a cold night. Now they need heat. This one's almost falling down, and I need to be careful when I grab it because it's a difficult situation here with the shelf. Shelf's just full. Yeah. Well, there will be some plants that go out. I've seen a lot of seedlings that also need to be out. Got a lot more here. It's just too much, so we will reduce this here. This kind of stuff shows why I'm not worried to do a frost experiment sometimes, moving plants out to see if they will make it or not. When you are a breeder, every year there's new seeds and you need to make sure they are grown, or you just do it for nothing. I really like this one. This is a nice kind of body, and it's a multi-hybrid, I think. Cannot see the label. I mean, I see it, it's there, but I try not to pull labels out when you have plants standing close. I said that in a comment a few days ago. I often see the label, but wait until I have the plant in front of me with the pollination. I don't want to start digging for labels when you have a shelf like this. This is super dangerous for the fingers, because check out how the lower spines look like at these random hybrids. These are made to defend them in nature, so they can also defend them against me pulling out the label. And even if I get it out, maybe I might not get it in again. So yeah, been trying to get this Trichocereus what is it? Telegonoides to flower, but it doesn't look like it's not a chance. I don't think it's flowering this year. I will probably pot it up. This is a grafted plant and it needs a bigger pot now. So far, I mean, you can compensate for everything. I mean, for almost everything. At a certain point, when you are growing a tree-like species like tersheki, then you will come at your limits. But these kinds of species can be grown in smaller pots if you water a lot, if you make sure it doesn't run out of nutrients. But the smaller the pot, the more often you have to do it, and it gets very tiring. See what I mean when I say that outside they just have this natural overall coating that washes off everything that will stick on it in a greenhouse, for example. Doing a little cleanup here. Lost seedlings need to be removed, otherwise they cause a mold risk at the base, at the bottom below, not the top. You will only notice it when it's too late. Okay, this is looking pretty good, and I'm a little bit worried to move it because this pot here is perfectly balanced, but I want to move the one on the left, this one here. This is are some of the feathers hybrids, and I want them to get more light. Okay, so I moved everything aside, and these will go out full sun, so they can, I don't know, have a chance to flower. Top doesn't look healthy to me either, but I want to give it a chance. This was moved from a very bad spot, and bad spots bring out discolorations, but this looks pretty nasty. But you see, this is where the sun came in, so hitting it in a ray, you see this is all on one level, all on the flanks, but sometimes you have plants that have viral infection that weakens the immune system, and sunburn happens more easily, more under different circumstances. But the way I see it, this is just a sick plant right now. A lot of plants will have discolorations, and when you treat them right, they instantly grow them out again. So we will give it a chance, but this is a plant that is on my list to be at least, keep this under observation. And if it doesn't stay, then we will propagate it to get a piece, or maybe the wound will heal at the bottom, but I do not like it. I do not like it at all. So I found this. This is Telegonus. Sörensia telegona. Had to be rooted because it broke off and had an unclean wound. So now we're rooting it separately, and I will put it in the sun somewhere. This is a sun-loving species. I just shove it in between, and I hope that it takes no offense with my disrespectful treatment. But it's a beautiful species, and I will put it in a pot very soon. I just want to move it out so it can get used to the sun, maybe has a little chance of flowering, and after that it will get its pot and it will be rooted like a hanging basket plant. I think it is the only way to grow them without them looking like they are, I don't know. I just do not like when a cactus wastes so much space. It always grows prostrate, leans over. That's not easy to grow in a greenhouse. Over here we have the future. Amazing hybrids by Uwe Kahle, for example. But we will need to put them to the best spots in the future. These small ones, smaller, they are too sensitive. And if you do not separate them early enough, you will lose more and more continuously. So we will need to take care of that. In the next days I will order pots and soil. And it will be, I'm not entirely sure what brand, but I want to get a organic soil. Something that I can maybe mix with washed pumice. But long term, I do not want to work with minerals on a larger scale anymore. For seedlings, it's alright. But when you have minerals everywhere around, it collects eventually in your lungs. My great grandfather was a miner. They were sent to the mines very young, and he had coal lung, dust lung, and I still remember it. My grandfather had lung cancer, so trying to be aware of this kind of stuff as a cactus breeder is kind of important. And I always wear respirator type masks when I'm mixing mineral stuff, so every time there's dust, I'm away. I do not like dust. And now I decided we will move the soil completely, or we will try. Could backfire. So we will probably have situations where there's a plant that doesn't deal with the organic soil as well as others. But we will try it out. The more experienced you are as a breeder, the more you learn how to compensate for the bad soil or for the negative effects that the soil also brings with it. So maybe we can compensate. Okay, so this brings out an area to clean, a new area to clean, a new area where you have space, and everything needs to be cleaned every year. Otherwise you have a greenhouse where the washed soil collects between the plants. It brings up the humidity. Yeah, pests can thrive in it, mold. So cleanup is important, especially when you have many plants that stand too close. So yeah, we will do that all the time. Validus again. That is a very wild plant. Not wild in the sense that it is from the wild, but that it's a wild looking plant. Here's one that needs a better spot. This Sternschnuppe gezackt. Yellow flowering Echinopsis hybrid. And the spot where it was isn't good enough. This needs full sun. It's an Echinopsis, they love it. Yeah, and it will start flowering when it's in the sun. So let's get it there. Yeah, but how? How, man? How? Maybe we can get some of the plants removed in the back. They don't need to be here. And this large cluster, this Lobivia cluster, I'm probably moving away too because it's not flowering where it is. We see. I'll give it another week or two. But yeah, I gotta make some space here. These here need a sunny position. They've been shaded by the plants surrounding them, so full sun, top shelf. Well, top shelf material. There's no top shelf available right now, so we need to put it maybe second shelf or at the ground until I created more space on that shelf. It's just necessary right now to have them there, but not for long. Long term, this isn't a good spot for anything bigger. It will reach the roof instantly. But it gives you the chance to control the environment. It gives you a chance to control the greenhouse that you have, to use it appropriately, to give these plants a very hot experience for a while. Maybe 3 weeks is enough. Then a lot of them could be flowering, not all, but the prolonged sun hours with the sun hitting them more often when the sun comes from the other side too, it's just good for them. More exposed spots, very good. I found a spot for the Echinopsis. It's not a good spot because the side pops should be free, not covered like here. But for right now, it's the best spot that I have, and I hope that the sun that it will get here will not lead to too many shade spots in between. It's just for short term to induce the flowering, to give it enough sun and enough water in the sun to get it to flower. This is not for long, but sometimes you forget, so you need to keep that in mind. I mean, we need to take the plants off the shelf anyway soon because the flowers are coming. But right now, we still have a little bit of time left. Closing the doors now. I want it to heat up in the greenhouses a little bit. So let's close this up. Later, there will be cleanup. Cleanup in the area. Cleanup continue. Yeah, and then I gotta stop again. Split it up evenly over the day. Not doing too much. Other greenhouse too. Okay, now they have a chance to heat up a little bit. For 3 hours maybe. Here's one of the first flowers on Gräsers Erfolg, Selbstbestäubung and Cantora. Hope it will get more, because one flower would be a little bit measly. Got spines everywhere. Sometimes I lie in bed and I find a spine in my butt or somewhere else. Everywhere, they can be everywhere. You never know where you find them. I realized something shed into the way again. Had to change my shoes again. It's absolutely insane here. I'm worried about humidity in the greenhouse, and we want to do more to avoid it in the future. Trying to avoid these humidity chambers, as I call them. Stuff like this, you know. When it is full of plants, it just traps humidity. Then the soil washes out of the pots, and then you have a dead seedling here and there, and it creates a bad combination during winter. So for the next winter we will try to avoid that. Can't find my gloves again. They must have been somewhere. Okay. Okay, so this is a little bit better. It will need to dry out. Then I will empty out the plants behind it. There we need to do some surgery because there's a hole in the plant. I do not like the tip here. Stuff like that. We will take care of one problem after the other. That's how I approach every huge situation like you have here when you have so many plants. Just pick one plant and decide what it needs and change everything right away, because you might not get the plant into your hands again until a month. So it's best to do everything right at the first time, right away. I don't always do it like that, but that's how it should be done actually, if you do it right. I just want to show the nice morning light in this greenhouse when it comes in here. This is a good spot. Gets light very early. I usually film very early in the morning on flower days, because the flowers open early often. So not always is there nice light, but right now there is. Looking great. Okay, we are slowly establishing order in the greenhouse again. I mean, there's still total chaos, but there's order in it too. These are all just close enough so they will make it. Most look great, most are flowering. It's just always a matter of space. Another greenhouse will help, and we will build that, or ask a friend to help building it. On the right side here, these are the Lubivia. You can really see how they woke up, how they got back to life. In the greenhouse now they will do much better than outside. They now have protection against the UV light. When they get water, when they need it. From now on, I will only spray these. A lot of the stuff will only get sprayed now if it gets fertilized. I do not want to use a lot more fertilizer now. Right now is the time when I only focus on simple clusters that I feel like need more work. Seedlings where I feel like, or pots where one soil led to a faster dehydration, or always leads to faster dehydration. So when you have different kind of cactus soil that you have at the same time, everyone dries differently. Some of them are wet below, but you do not see it because you have a more mineral layer at the top. Sometimes the organic material washes away and the mineral stuff stays. And you always have to be, it helps if you are dealing with one substrate from the beginning to the end. That's a good thing. But unfortunately, some substrates are strong in the beginning, some are strong later on. So for the future, we will still do a lot with washed pumice, because it's just great to avoid problems with stuff like mealybug. If you have mealybug, this is a decent way to at least get them a little bit under control. In organic soil, they can thrive very easily. Some other mineral types of soil, mineral medium, is often a lot harder to live in for mealybug, for example, and thrive in. The sharper the particles, the more the less likely it is that pests become a problem in it. But sharp particles are also bad for the roots, so you ain't gaining much if you just use a medium that's completely sharp. For example, lava. I had this lobevia in lava, in a nothing but lava, and I almost lost it because it got so dehydrated. The water just ran through the pot, and now I have it in a completely organic soil until it has recovered, until it is looking healthy, fully healthy again. I mean, it's flowering now, so it came out of the worst. But lava is a perfect example for a medium that is great on paper, but it has a structure that is a little bit too sharp for cactus roots. You can use it as an additive, but the higher the percentage, the more problems you will get with dehydration. The plants that are grown in the greenhouse look so much better than everything that came out of the cellar early in the season. Also because they've already been watered for quite some time. So this one's too dehydrated, so I will put it in water. Also very mineral medium with lava, by the way. This is a good example. This shows this is a lot of lava. I just love when you can show a live example, and this has had a too high percentage of lava, and from the waterings that it got, it just couldn't pick up enough water in the time that the water ran through the pot. It basically happened instantly. Very hard to water something like this unless you water multiple cans over a few hours, because the water will sink through and it will take time for the plant to take in the water, but by that time the water's already gone again. So if you are using mineral medium, pumice is the much better one than lava. I'm fighting against the... I want to put both into the pot that has no holes, but they fall they fall over. This damn crooked place here. So much crookedness on the ground. Barely any plant stands here. So I would need a bulldozer to clear out the area. Little machine here, heavy machinery, but it's not possible. Where the site is too far up, you just can't drive. But we're getting somewhere. Now we're looking for problems in between. Stuff like this at the bottom, this corking. Plant looks healthy at the tip, but this plant needs more direct sunlight, otherwise this could become a huge problem. It's already rising. I'm looking for another piece again, for grabber tool that I can use to grab the spiny huasha body. Sörensia huasha, Trichocereus huasha, has a super spiny body. It just hurts when you touch them. So I found it. Here's the thing. I think this is a mason jar holder. These are great for cacti. I recommend them because you can easily grab everything from the top without actually having to grab it. That means a lot. So now I try to get this thing out here. Will also create more light. Just gotta be careful because it will come out of the pot sometimes. It's not thick enough for this one. Okay, it will work. I don't know why, but my leg hurts like hell today. Hope I don't have a tick again. I gotta check. When my leg hurts, I need to check for new ticks. Okay, so this is how I want to put it. Barely any root section, which explains why the base looks so bad. So this one will be repotted now, removing the old soil to give it a new start, because this is nothing. This is actually, it would probably be best to cut it, but I do not want to take it out of the season yet. Maybe it's flowering, so, but this is fungal probably from too much humidity at the base. Shouldn't have that. So ideally you would cut it, put it in the indirect sunlight, just not too much, and then let the wound dry, root it again in sand maybe, and from then on it could get a new start. But any bad return to bad habits would instantly bring it out again. So yeah, this one needs to be treated better. And you can see at the tip it already did better. There are flower buds, I think, even. So this one might flower. So we will just have to give it a chance. And now I'm looking for a pot. This one will be enough. Yeah, I don't want to go up too much. And now we remove the dead, the old soil from the rootstock, and there might be dead roots that also need removal. First I gotta find my gloves again. There they are. Okay, so today we need to order new soil. I just realized. I still haven't fully decided what kind of soil I wanted to use. So let's have a look here. Let's inspect. Doesn't look so bad. I expected worse. There's a little bit that looks like mealybug there. Okay, that part. But it could just be a healthy root. So this isn't that big of a deal. I think it recovered. But it needs a bigger pot. So that's what where I will put it in. So just trying to pot this up in a way where it doesn't fall. These huasha type plants need a lot of stability, otherwise they constantly break off. And now I want to get some soil for this thing. Now it will be organic. Something fell over, I think. Oh no, it was the door. It's a little windy today. Gotta fix the door. I have this here. This is for seedlings only. I don't want it on the larger plants, at least not pure. If I add it to the soil, maybe 20%, 30%. Hey, Meek. So here's some the rest of the organic soil that I have, and it's been open for a while. So this is just scraping the bottom of the barrel, and this is very organic. We will see how this will go. If it becomes a problem, I would try to replace with coconut, and if that doesn't work, if that's also too organic for this environment where we're at. We will mix it with washed pumice again, but I will try to replace as much minerals in my whole organization as I can, because you gotta keep in mind that everything you put in these pots will be washed out again, or can be washed out again, and it can be inhaled again. That is something that every cactus breeder, everyone who uses, for example, how's that called? DE? That kind of earth, that mineral earth that people spread out. I can't say the word, but you know what I mean. I can't write it, but I can't speak it. And yeah, it's very sharp. Goes into the lungs probably. I can't tell if it's behaves similarly as, for example, asbestos, but it could. It's thinkable, you know. I never believe what a company tells me. I mean, they might be right, but what if they are wrong? So I try to reduce minerals in general, and this will be alright for summer, because summer is going to be hot probably. If it rains too much, I can always move plants into the greenhouse again. Yeah, and that's basically it. We are just experimenting a little bit, trying to see how the highly organic soil will influence the season and all. It will definitely give it stability, because this thing will not fall over. In winter, you cannot have this wet. If this is wet for 2 months or so, and it looks like it will stay wet for 2 months, you need to be very careful about that. But overall, you can handle everything with water management. The question is, how much extra work does it cause, and how difficult does it become if you still have different kinds of media in the collection. So, but we will try that out. We will experiment with different kinds of soil additives. This is free of peat. I don't know what does it use. Let me see. Yeah, this is very organic. We will look into that. That's the most organic medium that I ever used on a cactus. So naturally, this could, in some cases, be great. In some cases, be horrific. So we will have to pick the plants that get this kind of medium too. The right plant for the right medium, and everything where it doesn't work. There's some species that need a perfect drainage, and you probably cannot do it like this. And in cases of these, we will find other solutions. I mean, or I sort them out. I'm honestly at the point where I do not care if a certain hybrid doesn't grow well at my environment. Then I get a different one who does grow well here. Mika's on a mission to spy on the neighbors. They have a doggo, so naturally she's very interested. Always looking, waiting for him to come up to play. By the way, check out my t-shirt that I found in my wardrobe. Sometimes I find something that's truly great. Now I just gotta look for the pot that we forgot, because that one has the label. I caught a spine. You can't even see it. It broke off right away. I constantly have to, get rid of spines. Cannot find a label in the pot, but it's a Thomas Stöfer hybrid. I think Esmeralda TS 126 Esmeralda. Now we need this again. This is the one that I pulled out from behind. And this is an Arboricola hybrid, and these can flower. It's a waste to have this one hidden behind somewhere. It needs to go into the sun right away. Arboricola is a sun-loving species and does well in the greenhouse under the top roof sometimes. Make sure it doesn't run out of water, but apart from that, it will flower there. That said, there's no more space. I've been pendling around between the greenhouses. This looks like it could be enough, but it won't. Maybe I can push everything a little bit back without derailing the whole shelf, but probably not. It's a miracle. A Christmas miracle. No, it's a summer miracle. Beautiful. But yeah, this is a good spot for it. Give this one a few weeks and it will probably flower. You never know for sure, because the plant was at a bad spot before, so it will take time to get back to where it could be. Get to the point where it could be right now if it had been at this spot over winter. It probably did not get enough water and fertilizer at that spot because it was blocked by other stuff, pots and all. So smaller plants being surrounded by taller plants will result in that kind of stuff. So trying to avoid that. Everything's full of these weird flies. See if I find one. There. They're crossing everywhere here. Very idiotic kind of insect. It just flies around, but barely capable of being in the air. It looks like it has just learned how to fly and doesn't do it very well. And they are everywhere. I mean, that's probably what they got to do if they want to not go extinct, because they're failing at flying. I mean, they're doing better than I do, but apart from that, that's all. I filled it up yesterday and it's already empty, so gotta fill it up again today. From now on we will work a lot with this, because it allows you to pick the problem straight on. You see a problem on a body, on a seedling for example, and you can spray it directly. And this doesn't spray it in a way that is easy to inhale. You can decide if you want to have an aerosol kind of mist or a little bit rougher, and I like it rough. Now there's a plant behind and that's not good, so we will take it out. But I already see if I take this one out, it will come out of the pot, and then I see the soil below and no, I need to take it out of the pot. So if it stays in there, we will repot it. If it comes out, we will repot it. And this one goes out because I do not like how it looks like. That was just too bad of a spot. I gotta stop working the muscles. Okay, so now I've put this thing on top of others just to hold it up. But I want to repot this and I want to rotate it in the pot. I will get a larger pot and put this kind of sideways. It grows upwards, so if you flip it around, root it a little bit crookedly, then you can get this plant straightened out again. The base will be somewhat covered, but this is not a problem. I mean, infections can happen below there, but if an infection happens down, this is a pup, and a pup is fairly resistant against fungal infections coming from another pup at below. So this is the base, and the pup, they are two separate entities. Even if you get an infection there, it takes a while to spread between here and here, and by that time you should have caught it already. You see that the plant isn't doing well. So yeah, that's what we will be doing, but for now the plant just needs to be out, because the humidity isn't doing it any favors in the greenhouse. This is actual teaching every day now. Sometimes even experienced growers have to fight with the environment. I have so many years of experience, and it all comes down to going the extra mile. It is a work kind of thing, a work ethics kind of thing. We all know what we need to do. We just got to do it. And a lot of situations will keep your mind occupied. You end up losing focus. You see problems, but they get too many. That's why it's good to pick the problems head on, straight on, when you see them. And the longer you do that, it gets easier and easier. I promise. I know. I said before that my channel will be a teaching channel, and that's what we will do. We enable this whole setting to work in a way that we can use it to show. So yeah, I've been considering bringing in a table. We would change some stuff to bring the plants out of the humidity chambers at the bottom. We will still have humidity chambers a little bit higher. If you have a table here, if the table is maybe the level here, you can still get humidity chambers below, but it's a little bit less because the ground always has the humidity. The humidity collects there. If you have a table, the water runs through and the humidity collects below. But tables cost money. If you put a wood table in a greenhouse, it will start to get moldy. It would still work, and I consider building one if all else fails. If the funding isn't there, then we will probably have to build something, and it will be total garbage, and it will do the job. Here's another one from way behind that needs to go out. Hybrid by Cactus. Probably a hybrid. Oh, gotta put it down. Also a hybrid by Cactus, Macondo Cactus. I think with Vasquezi, Trichocereus Vasquezi. So this one needs full sun too. Got another plant in the pot that needs to go out because this is a Trichocereus. It's a different type of plant. So having them together in one pot is just waiting for disaster to strike. Okay, it's leaning against the bucket now just to keep it steady. We will do more about repotting and all. This one needs to be out of the pot anyway. And the moment I take it out, I take that other one out, the left one. The right one will probably show problems with the roots that force me to repot this one too. Feel like we're finally catching up with the true, like with what we can do with this channel. It's finally starting to show its face. I can see this in like developing in front of me. We are doing stuff and we talk about it. We talk about why it's done that way and why it probably shouldn't be done. I'm not saying don't do that or don't do this, because everything depends on how you approach it. Water management, soil, temperatures, your environment. Nobody knows your environment. So you need to look at it, analyze it, make decisions for yourself. Think about where comes the sun, where comes the water, and all these things. And I am starting to see the progress here. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Very often complaining, so you gotta take a moment to say the happy stuff too, and that is it. I'm very happy right now. I feel like we're moving somewhere with this channel, and that is important for me because I'm easily bored. I don't know, if I do not feel a project that I'm doing another one. There's so many, But now we will start. See, there's a problem that I found. So this was on a graft, and the rootstock froze. So now you have the infection coming into the sign. It's not good, but it's not terrible either. I'm not worried about this. What I'm mostly worried about is that it is so dehydrated, because now you need to cut and root. But we will do that right away. So hopefully we can just re-root it in time, because every time you root something, there's a clock ticking. It's like the life clock that is running out, and a pot like this without roots only has so much energy in it. So putting this aside to remove the infection. Is that even an infection? Yeah, it is. It is, unfortunately. Sometimes you have, if you see on this side here, there's a little bit of corking. Root formation already had roots. Means the graft didn't do well either. So maybe it just didn't grow very well together in the first place. So let's remove this. Now I cut this with safety distance, and I do not like what I'm seeing. This is dry rot. Probably, yeah, this can be encapsulated sometimes. It doesn't look very dangerous right now. The plants can live with this, but I do not like it. So we will do another cut and hope that we can get it, because there's not so much left on it. It has gotten a little better, but not much. I'm not really liking this, but I will put this in full sun now. I assume it will heal. Sometimes you have a little bit of infection with it, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, it could happen that if you remove the half again, you would still have a brown thing inside. So I'm not willing to remove a lot more right now. I want to look how it looks like after it has calloused. So we will give it a chance to callus first, and then we decide if we cut again. Do not like this either. So yeah, this will remain the piece. Also full sun. Maybe I can shove it in between somewhere like this, just sticking out with the wound. And this one, I don't know, man. Okay, like this. This will be alright. I just need this spot for a few days or maybe couple weeks. It can stay there for a while. Of course not permanently. This is just so it's straight at the top. This is one of the best spots for these kinds of infections too. So ideally in summer, keep a part of your shelf just for the sick ones that might improve with strong sunlight, and a lot of them do. Just looking for problems. Looking for stuff to take out in between. I always start taking out the smaller ones that require something. And then you can focus on everything below. I'm not worried about a lot of plants. I do not have to move them out, all of them. I just move what I like. If a flower looks like it will not stay over winter, it will be instantly sorted out. This year we're really doing it on camera. Every video, every flower video, we would say, okay, can this one stay or go? Apart from that, I'm happy in here. This stuff here needs to be out because it's too weedy. And then we're pretty much done for today. I will probably film another video later, but for now this is a good long video, and it shows what is done right now. A lot of moving of plants that are in suboptimal spots and have potential to do better at other spots. That's something that you always do. It's part of your job. You never have an endless amount of spots, of great spots. Growth space is very limited. So they always compete, and you gotta learn the strengths and weaknesses of your spots. You need to know where the shade is, and then work on that, and we will do that too here. Yeah, I'm happy with the result of the work. So now I have space here, and this will be cleaned, and then I can put a few more flowering size plants there, maybe the size of this, but just roughly on the same level as the others, so they can get a little bit more heat and sunlight coming in early. And then, yeah, we wait for the big flower flush. That is good. But the look for problems, the search for problems never ends. There will always be problems. Being a breeder, it means you need to learn how to solve them all. If you fail at one problem situation that you get repeatedly, it will always drag you down. So we just have to take everything in and learn from it. Alright, so this is good enough for me. I'm happy with what we did here. I'm going in now, taking a break, or at least look after the cat, which needs something. I'm sure the cat needs some kind of attention again. Yeah, this is it. Thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate it. Bye. Man, I forgot to take a thumbnail for the video. That's important, because otherwise it looks like crap. So let's get this done. Nah, this sucks. Maybe like this? This is alright, okay? We're taking this one.